Welcome, guys. Welcome back to my podcast or my channel. Yee! And today we're going to be reacting to full creepy true Uber stories. Yee! I'm here with my friend Bron. I've mentioned her quite a few times, my best friend.
Hey there, I'm pretty excited to get into these scary videos. I'm a believer in the supernatural. I'm a writer myself. I'm also a documentary maker, really into urban legends, Black Panther, White Kangaroo. Really excited to be here.
Yee! And today we're going to be reacting to scary stuff. Are you ready for this?
Yes, I'm so excited.
Yee! Anyway, please subscribe, turn the notification, and click the bell beside you. Anyway, let's jump right onto it, shall we? Okay. Yeah. Excited for this? A bit scared? Spooky. Not. Might do a paranormal one next time. Turn it on a bit.
What you're about to hear was the worst night of my life. I went out to a downtown club with my boyfriend and his friends on a Saturday night. My boyfriend and I hadn't been getting along for a while, and at some point in the club, we had an argument. I didn't want to be there anymore, so I went outside and called an Uber to pick me up. It was raining that night, so I waited under the awning of the building nearby to the club. A white car pulled up in front of me and stopped. I walked over, and the woman driving rolled down the window. She said, "Uber?" And I said, "Yeah," and then her name. She said yes. So I got in the back seat. I asked, "How are you?" I'm pretty sure she didn't answer. When I didn't hear a response to my question, I shot a glance up from my phone for a second. The woman had both hands firmly planted on the steering wheel. She was driving in a very stiff, upright position. She also had very curly hair and a somewhat darker skin complexion. She was driving down the street I usually took to get home, only she was going the opposite way. I didn't want to speak up and correct her just yet, because maybe she was taking a different route. The further we went away from my house, though, the more concerned and frustrated I got. Finally, I spoke up and told her she was going the wrong way. She said in a horrible, thick accent something about how she was going to the highway instead.
No. You wouldn't trust this. No.
No way.
No.
Sounds pretty suspicious.
No.
I'd be getting out of that car pretty fast.
Yeah. And she's not even talking to her. She was just ignoring her bluntly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Signs of a psychopath.
Yeah.
The highway wasn't the quicker route though. Then my phone vibrated, and I looked down to see the notification from Uber. It said on my screen, "Meet Uber driver now." I opened up the app, and it said my Uber had just arrived at the point I was originally standing at, that the car I was supposed to get in was a black Nissan. At this point, I started saying in a louder voice to the driver that she wasn't my Uber. I asked her to pull over and let me out. When she didn't seem to acknowledge me, I started to actually yell and push at her seat. Even though the car was moving, I even tried opening the door, but the child lock was apparently on. After a little more yelling, she finally looked at me through the mirror, then pulled off to the side. The door clicked unlocked, and I got out of the car and walked away from it.
You are lucky,
My
Cleve.
actual Uber driver was calling me. I picked up, apologized, asking him to come to my current location. He said he'd be right over. 5 minutes later, the car pulled up. When I got in the car, I explained everything to him. He stopped the car, looked at me, and told me I just escaped a sex trafficking trap. There have been reports of multiple big Ubers going around trying to trick unsuspecting victims into getting into the car to lure them to unknown locations. It was apparently part of the sex trafficking ring. The drivers were usually female to appear less intimidating to the female victims. I just want to stress to everyone to make sure the car you're getting into is actually your Uber.
Whoa, that was scary.
What did you think about that one?
That was really, I wasn't expecting it to go that way because yeah, I've heard about these kind of cases where they just kidnap you and yeah, take you to some sort of traffic slave
Yeah,
camp.
you always check to make sure. You got to make double sure.
Yeah.
Especially at Uber. I feel like a taxi is a different situation. But
Yeah.
yeah, what did you give that one out of 10? 1 being scary, 10 being poopy pants.
Oh, Look, 8, I think.
Yeah.
8 was pretty scary.
Yeah, I could go an 8, solid 8. That's a good one.
My question is though, why she did pull over and let her out, right?
Mm,
Yeah, so she kind of showed her mercy.
I guess.
Yeah.
And that was a bit sus too. Why did she just pull her out? She could have just left her
Yeah.
going. I don't know. That's strange. At least you picked up on that.
Yeah.
Like that. Ooh, number 2. Finished. What the heck? Ah, put my volume down. That's why. Oh.
One night when I was decently drunk after leaving the bar, I started messaging people on Tinder. Some girl named Alicia had messaged me, so I messaged her back. She answered almost immediately, asking what I was doing that night. I said I was just leaving the bar, looking for someone to hang out with. She wrote back, "You should come over and smoke." I said, "Yes, send me your address." She sent back her address promptly. It seemed like the quickest, easiest, most ideal Tinder match a guy could ask for on a Saturday night. I called for an Uber to drop me off at that address. The driver pulled up in his Honda, and I got in the front seat. Usually I would get in the back seat, but I was decently drunk and feeling extra social. The driver seemed cool. I was honest with him about where I was going, telling him I was about to meet a girl on Tinder. He laughed and said nice, and started going on about his stories meeting girls as an Uber driver and such. On the way there, I asked Alicia for her number, and she gave it to me. I started texting her, and she gave normal answers. When we got to the house, the driver said the house seemed familiar to him. Had to admit it did look a little sketchy since there were no cars in the driveway and the lights were off. He told me to be careful. I thanked him and said goodbye, and he drove away down the block and stopped near the end, I'm guessing setting up his next ride. I walked up to the house and tried to ring the bell, but I didn't hear a bell from the inside, so I knocked on the door. Then I tried calling Alicia. It went to voicemail after one ring, but she texted me right after saying it's open, come inside. Then there was a knock at the door, which I was having a heart attack.
I would not be going in there.
Even though there were no lights on inside. I saw the blind was slightly lifted. Someone was waving their hand on the other side of the window.
No.
Before I tried the door, a number not saved on my phone started calling me. I assumed it was Alicia, so I picked up. But instead of hearing the voice of a girl, I heard the familiar voice of my Uber driver. He ordered me in a very concerned voice to walk away from the house right now. I then saw the Uber driver's car pull back up in front of the house. He told me to get back in the car. I hung up the phone and listened to him. As soon as I got in the car,
The Uber driver
he
was
drove away
a
from
guy.
the house and told me that the house was vacant. In just the previous month, someone had been lured into that house, robbed, and murdered. It was a story that likely could have been similar to my own had I stepped into that house. It was a lot for me to take in, but I thanked that Uber driver the best I could, and even took his number because he was so cool and I couldn't appreciate him enough. The next morning when I was sober, this was even more disturbing to think about.
Whoa, that's so scary.
That one was bad 9.5. That one was slightly a little bit scary.
It was scary, yeah, because there was murder that already took place. Yeah, such a close call.
The Uber was the hero in the end.
Yeah.
He saved the person, the woman.
Yeah.
Was it a woman or a man? I think it was a woman.
I think it was the woman was the one on Tinder, and the Uber was a guy.
Yeah. Ooh, spooky.
It was a Monday night, a slower night for an Uber driver, especially in our bum-ass town. So when a trip request popped up on my screen, I jumped on it. I was picking up a guy named John. I drove across the neighborhood to a corner liquor store that was closed at this hour. There were two young guys waiting on the corner, and when I pulled up to the curb, they got in the car. I confirmed John's name to make sure he was who I was picking up. Then I started heading to their destination. The two whispered to each other, and it was a little odd. I looked at the rearview mirror every once in a while. Every time I did, they would both notice and look back at me.
Oh, that's
I kept trying
disturbing.
not to look, but I found myself accidentally.
Oh, hell no. Someone's staring back at you and then they're staring right towards the Uber driver like,
Yeah.
what are you going to do with this bitch?
Wow, that's
No,
freaky.
no, that's disturbing.
Yeah.
I asked them where they were headed. Neither of them answered. I figured they didn't hear me because the back window was open and there was wind noise. So I asked again. This time one of them yelled Harris Avenue. It didn't answer the main point of my question, which was to be polite and make small talk. But it did let me know these two were not exactly people I wanted in my car.
No.
I felt my big toe press a bit harder on the gas instinctively, just knowing I wanted to get there sooner.
He's the Uber driver.
We got to the street, but the apparent address they wanted me to pull up to was some run-down storefront with a group of guys in front. I slowed down and asked if this was it. I turned around to face them and saw they were both wearing masks now, similar to the masks from the movie The Purge.
Hell no.
I felt something press up against the back of my shoulder.
Whoa.
I assumed it was a gun. They told me to pull up to where the guys were outside. I did so. Three big guys also wearing masks came up to my window, demanding my wallet. I gave it to them without hesitation. The two guys in the back seat got out. The five masked men all together walked away from my car, one of them kicking at my door while passing. I drove away and reported it to Uber, who said they'd get in contact with the authorities. Turned out the info used on that John person's account was all fake. He was using a stolen credit card. I lost $250, my IDs, and countless cards in my wallet, but I'm just happy I escaped with my life.
I could go an 8 for that one. I don't know.
Yeah. Look, I would say that's an 8. Yeah. I think masks are pretty scary, right? You know. Yeah. I think then it's like all pre-planned and yeah. There's 5 of them,
Yeah.
a gang of them.
Yeah. Anyway, last story. Oh.
After leaving a friend's Super Bowl party, I called an Uber to drive me home. When I got in the Uber, there was a guy in a baseball hat sitting in the back seat. I didn't say anything to acknowledge it. I just said hi to the driver. I figured I must have called an Uber pool instead of just a regular Uber. I didn't care though. We got to my house, I got out of the car, and shut the door.
That was
I
quick.
heard a second door shut on the other side though. When the car drove away, I saw the guy who had been sitting next to me in the baseball hat, standing in the street, facing in my direction, with his head down so that his hat was covering his face.
Hell no.
I said, "What's up? What's going on?" He started to walk away. Still, I knew something was going on. So instead of walking to my house, I started walking around the block. I saw the man on the opposite sidewalk across the street walking in my same direction. When there was an intersection in the street, I turned. I saw he did the same thing. I ran. I saw he started to run too. The adrenaline kicked in, and I sprinted faster than I'd ever ran in my life. I ran faster than him, and when I made it to my house, I ran to the backyard before he could possibly see where I went. Then I went into the house. I called the Uber driver at once.
He will
He
know
told
where
me
you
the
live.
guy next to me said he knew the next guy the Uber driver would be picking up, which ended up being me. The driver had his info, so he said he would report the guy. I don't know what happened because I had never called or texted the Uber driver again. I also don't know why exactly that guy would be targeting people getting out of Ubers, but it definitely taught me to be more cautious with Uber rides.
I maybe about an 8. He didn't go into your house.
Yeah, I'd say 6 for that.
Maybe 7 and a
Because
half.
you kind of don't know what his intentions were. It's still pretty creepy.
Yeah. Did you like those stories?
Yeah, they were really good.
Very scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was my reaction to 4 creepy true Uber stories. Yeah. What did you think about it?
I think it was super scary. I think that's like my greatest fear, to be getting into an Uber and being in danger, meeting someone you don't know, and you know what they're going to be like. I think the Tinder date was the scariest one of all.
The Tinder one.
Being lured into an empty house and then hearing the story that there'd been a murder there, that was frightening.
You gave that one a bit higher.
That was an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah. I felt like maybe the third story was the scariest.
With the masks.
With the masks.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's nothing
I could
scarier
have
than
gone the
masks.
fourth one too with the guy that hopped out the Uber, because now he probably knows where that person lives.
That's true, yeah.
Oh.
So he could stalk him. He could
Yeah.
follow him later.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we didn't really give them ratings the last three. Oh wait, no, we did. Never mind. We did. Oh yeah. Just remember, check to know if it's your Uber and not some rando.
Yeah.
That's the message.
Yeah.
What do you think about my reaction video though?
Good. Yeah, really good, I think. Yeah, because you're kind of reacting naturally to it, as the story develops. Yeah, super scary. Really good storytelling.
Hmm. Yeah. It's good that you were in my video.
Oh, that is a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. So if you want more with Bron in there, obviously it's not going to happen every single day, obviously. But, if you
Special
want
guest star.
special guest star, first person to be on special guest. But yeah. Anyway, any last words, final words?
Stay safe and be careful of Uber drivers.
Yeah. Pretty good message. Yeah. Anyway, please subscribe, turn your notification, and click the bell beside you. I love you guys so much.
Love
Thank
you.
you. Bye.